I 42 male, think wife 40 female, might be cheating. I've lately begun to suspect that my wife is cheating on me, but I'm not sure what to do next. I don't have a blazing gun for proof, therefore I don't want to confront her or bring it up in case nothing is going on, or if she covers it up. It's just been little details and a spidey feeling. She began working out more often around 4 months ago and became much more concerned with her appearance. She is incredibly pretty, but she never wore much makeup or fussed with her hair. She's also become too possessive of her phone, which I know is a terrible indication. It's usual for us to look at each other's phones, but I know it never leaves her side, and if I ask for it to snap a photo or whatever, she'll tell me to use mine instead. She has also started staying late at work more often and has taken a couple more out-of-town business trips. She hasn't initiated any form of intimacy in the previous 4 months and just offers me pecking kisses. I attempted to initiate with her a few times, and she denied me a few times and let me go through with it a few times but wasn't engaged and just lay there. It made me feel terrible, more worse than being flatly rejected. I mentioned the lack of intimacy to her a while ago, and she stated she was fatigued all the time from being a parent, working, and doing weights. She promised to do a better job and kissed me later that night, but nothing has changed. I've been wondering whether it's some kind of midlife crisis thing. There is a man at her workplace who I believe might be a problem. My wife used to speak about him a lot, but she stopped mentioning him a few months ago. However, I am aware that they continue to collaborate closely. According to what I can tell, he is married with children and has informed my wife that he is experiencing marital problems. I met him a couple times and he mostly ignored me. We were around a lot of other people. He's not quite as handsome as I am, and he's certainly not in as good of condition as I am. Not to boast, but it's true. I'm huge and powerful, whereas he's ordinary and a touch overweight. But he dresses flashily, is outgoing, and enjoys drinking. I don't drink, and my wife has expressed a few times that she wishes I would go out drinking every now and again. I have a high school diploma, and he has a master's degree. He also earns far more money than I do. I train fighters and like what I do, yet I earn a pittance. This man probably earns 6 times what I do and flaunts his wealth. I only bring it up as an example of how we disagree. The main issue I've been worrying about is that my most recent business trip was to a tropical resort type of location, and my impression at the time was that there was a large group of people going. It turned out that the only people there were my wife, the flamboyant man, and the CEO. The CEO is quite elderly and seldom interacts socially. He is all business. My wife and this other person, in my fantasy, spent a lot of time together that week doing who knows what. My trouble is that I want to check whether my gut instinct is correct, but don't want to create a larger problem by accusing or questioning her. We've had a few ups and downs throughout the years, but I'd say we've had a very nice marriage overall. There are no serious concerns. I'm not the most extroverted person, and I don't earn much money, which has been a little source of concern for my wife. She claims that I'm not living up to my full potential, and that I could earn much more money doing anything else. I don't want to give the impression that she is preoccupied with money, but I know that women are more comfortable with a larger nest account. She believes I'm capable of doing other things, but I am not equipped to do anything other than fight or train fighters. That's pretty much my whole existence. Alternatively, you might work as a personal trainer. None of those items are really profitable. Aside from that, she seems to be content. My buddy advised me to keep my concerns to myself and begin spying and collecting proof, if it exists. But I have a strange feeling about invading her private. I can't picture staying with her if she's cheating. I'm hoping I'm wrong about everything, but ideas of her cheating are beginning to fill my head, and I feel compelled to find out anyway. The fact that we have 2 children concerns me. I am active in every aspect of my children's life, and it would break my heart if I only saw them half the time. Please accept my apologies for the lengthy article. I'd love to hear any suggestions on how to cope with this. Update. Here is the most recent information. I was successful in obtaining the login details for our mobile phone account. She uses her phone often for business, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary until I began categorizing the calls and timings. At times, very late at night, there were a slew of messages to one particular number, a few hours after we go to bed. I'm going to figure out who owns that phone number and figure out how to get into her phone to check what name it's stored under. When I watched this, I became emotional and enraged. I tried to convince myself that it may have been a mistake or the fault of one of her girlfriends. I attempted to initiate last night, fully expecting to be refused, and I was rejected. She apologized but claimed she was too tired and had a headache to continue. I told her that I didn't think we were bonding very well. She apologized and promised to do better in the future. That's what she said the last time. I didn't press the topic, just said goodbye and went to bed. She informed me this morning that she was thinking of taking a ladies' vacation to Vegas. She doesn't gamble. When I inquired who she was going with, she said a couple females I'd never met before. Friends from college, apparently. Maybe it's all a coincidence, but a lot of things seem strange. Update 2. I've been suspecting my wife of cheating on me for quite some time. I eventually did some digging and went through the comprehensive mobile phone information available online. I saw that there were SMS sent to one number in the middle of the night. There were hundreds of them. I dialed the number from a pay phone, and it was answered by one of her employees, the one I thought could be trouble. I was able to obtain her phone while she was in the shower, and the only thing erased was the text chat. In addition, that guy's phone number and a female's name were kept in her phone. I'm now really concerned about the out-of-town travels she had while this man was with her. I had to leave the home to get some fresh air. I was able to gather myself enough to return home, but I'm at a loss for what to do next. If I provide her with what I have, she will most likely explain it away. I'm not sure if I should attempt to keep it secret in order to gather additional proof, or whether I should come out with it sooner. I am quite enraged. I'm enraged with her, but I also want to go after the man. It'll take all I've got not to do it. I'm concerned that she'll confess to improper flirtation and that I won't have enough proof to persuade her to acknowledge everything. Do you have any suggestions about when to face her? I'm going to remain awake while she messages him, then interrupt her and ask who she's messaging. Check to see if she's lying to me. Update 3. Last night, after everyone had gone to bed, I waited. I feigned to sleep and waited for her to come out of bed to check her phone. She gets up just after midnight, walks into another room, and shuts the door. I waited a few minutes, then got up, swiftly opened the door, and approached her, saying I couldn't sleep and asking what she was doing. I caught her in the middle of a text and was standing over her too quickly for her to erase anything. I watched her hand as she attempted to slip the phone away carefully. She said that she, too, was unable to sleep and was messaging a girlfriend. I made a plan and carried it out. I jumped on top of her and began kissing her, asking if she wanted to play. She claimed she couldn't, as I suspected. So I began laughing and teasing her and joked that she must be more interested in the girlfriend she was messaging than in me. Then I began to battle with her and grabbed the phone. I could see her fear in her eyes. She attempted to take it from me, but I turned away and held it in the air, like if I were playing a game of keep away. I was laughing and behaving as if I was having a good time the whole time. I told her I was going to phone this girlfriend and see if she was interested in my wife. "Please don't call her," my wife shouted. I began to walk away and opened up the text messages, one of which stated, "Can't wait to meet you tomorrow." I hit the call button, and it felt like an eternity passed before the person answered. I didn't know what to say, so I simply hung up. Then I began going through the messages in front of my wife, and I asked her whether she thought it was her girlfriend or a male who responded. She remained silent. Then I began reading the messages aloud to her and questioned why she was sending this to a man at night. She said that she had no idea. I asked her if there was anything more she needed to tell me. She was hushed. Then I informed her I'd gone through the mobile phone records and knew everything. I knew when she'd wake up to text this person, and I knew who he was. She burst into tears and apologized. I remained calm. I stated that the next few minutes were critical, and that if she didn't give me the whole truth, there would be serious repercussions. She said she began flirting with a colleague because he was experiencing marital problems, which led to the flirtation. She said she had never done anything with this man. My concern was that she would merely confirm what I already knew. I told her that if she couldn't tell me the whole truth, she should pack her belongings and go. She promised to do so while crying and apologizing. She inquired whether I was going to leave her before she left the home. I informed her that it was late and that we would address it later. I haven't seen her since she went for her mother's place, but she was causing my phone to blow up, so I switched it off. My objective is to contact a marital counselor and set up an appointment. I want my wife to believe that I want to work things out for a little longer until I explain that I'm going to therapy to be led through the process of breaking up. Last night's whole episode was something I had prepared in my imagination. I wanted to hide myself since I was pretending to wrestle with her and tickle her. So I took pictures of everything with my phone in case she attempted to accuse me of anything. I asked a buddy whether it was legal to record in our state, and he replied it was. I don't believe she would ever falsely accuse me of anything, but if I leave her, she may get desperate. I am 6'4" and weigh 240 pounds. I'm also a former fighter who now trains fighters. So if there is an allegation of abuse, I will not be believed, will be jailed, and will lose custody of my children. So my objective is to document everything from now on as an insurance policy. Right now, I am absolutely devastated. My whole family has been destroyed. I will miss half of my children's life as they grow up, and I will be devastated. I had a feeling something was up, but I'm still stunned. Worst of all, this is just the beginning. I want to confront the other person, but I'll have to hold back. I was informed he thought I was scary when he first saw me, so I want to scare him. I also saw that he referred to me as the Beast in one of the letters, after she commented on my lack of intelligence. I don't earn a lot of money or have a college degree, but I am an intellectually interested person who reads a lot of books on a variety of subjects. I'm not the sharpest man, but I don't think I'm dumb. I'll attempt to keep you updated as things go. At this point, I'm not sure what advice I can obtain. I'm completely heartbroken. Stay tuned for the next updates.